Hand pollinating squash isn't a difficult task, but it can be tedious. The first important step of hand pollination is to make sure your plants are producing both male and female flowers. When pollination isn't happening naturally in your garden, it's up to you to transfer that pollen. There are lots of easy ways to transfer pollen from one flower to the other. The only important thing to remember is that the pollen needs to move from the male flower to the female flower. The best time to transfer pollen is during the bright daylight hours, when the flowers are naturally open. Squash flowers open early in the morning and close in the evening, so don't miss your chance. When you look at the flowers, you will find that the female flowers have a tiny squash beneath the flower on the stem, and a stigma inside the flower. There is a raised orange structure in the center of the stigma, and that is where you will apply the pollen when you perform hand pollinating. Simply take a male anther and touch it to the female stigma, a couple of times, as if brushing paint. This will be enough to pollinate the stigma, which will then produce squash. You should repeat this step with every female flower every day so you will get as many squash from your plant as possible. The flower will close up in the evening and remain closed for the next day or two. If you have succeeded in pollination, the flower will wilt and fall off, but the miniature squash will remain on the stem. This tiny squash will swell in size until it's ready for harvest, and you will finally be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. This is how pollinating squash by hand is so easy and simple, and you can do it in less than a minute. Happy organic gardening!